Hello, Star Citizens, and welcome to another. Well, I guess this is the first, not another. This one is a ship showdown breakdown. So, what we're going to actually do in this video is we're actually going to select the ships that we think should be part of the ship showdown. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick three ships for each category, and then I'm gonna weigh the options, and then I will give you all 24 hours to, rip it apart and say which ships you think should be on it. And then I'm going to take what you said into consideration, and then I will put that list out to CIG as which ships I think should be in the ship showdown. So I'm doing my best here to not play favorites. I own a lot of ships, so I'm trying not to play favorites. So let me tell you what my main requirements are. I have two main requirements, and then the rest I'm leaving up to like what I like. So the first requirement is the ship must not be one of the top 10 most popular ships, which means like it easily able to be picked out and say, oh, that's obviously like everybody's favorite ship, right? Now, that doesn't mean it can't be one of the top 10 most useful ships or something like that, but popular ships. So that means we're not looking at the Carrack. That means we're not looking at the MSR. We're probably not looking at like the Hornet F7C. So there's and that's a big deal to me. Like, I don't want just the same old ships that win it every year to win it. It's not a requirement that it hasn't won it before, but that's also on my list. Is if it's won before, I'll take a point off. I won't disqualify it if it has won before, but it will definitely lose points if it has won before. So I don't know what all the winners are, but I'm just gonna record this whole thing, and maybe it'll show you. I'll go through and look at all the previous winners, and you'll see that on screen. Otherwise, I'll just skip it if it took me too long to find the information. But yes, so the first thing, it can't be one of the top 10 most popular, and it can't be, or it loses points for being a previous winner. The second part is it has to at least be good at what it does. Well, I guess that's the third part. So it has to actually be good at its job. And I don't just mean fair at its job. I don't mean capable of doing its job. I mean, it has to actually be good at what it does, because I don't want to send any ships in that I don't think are, because there's no bad ships. It's just, I don't think certain ships are as good at what they do as other ships. It doesn't have to be the best, but it does have to be good at what it does. And I think, let me see, what else would I have in there? Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's a solid, list of requirements. So what I'm going to do first, and depending on how long this takes me, I'm going to first find out who the previous winners are. I'm only going to go back for until 2018. And anything before that, I'm not going to count, just because, if it hasn't won in 6 years, I think it doesn't really matter as much. The game has significantly changed in the last 6 years, so I won't count that. So let's see if we could easily find this. Okay. So fairly easy. Glad this was easy to find. All right. These are all the winners of previous ship showdowns. It looks like it's only been going on since 2019 anyway, so I think I was right to say that. This is perfect. So these ships will all lose a point. They're not disqualified. But this is what I will do. I will disqualify the winners. The winners are disqualified. So sorry, Caterpillar, Carrack, MPUV, Carrack again. This is why they got to be disqualified. And Corsair. Those are all disqualified. Those will not be on the list. The second, third, and fourth place, they'll lose a point. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what the lists add up to. But well, they'll definitely lose a point, but yeah, we'll see what it comes out to. All right, so glad we were able to find that quickly. All right, so this is what we're going to use, us.citizen-logbook.com. I'm not sure if it's it might be uk.citizen if you're in the UK. I'm not sure exactly what it looks like, but I'll pop that up on the screen, or I'll leave it in the comments so you could find out where I go for this stuff. But this is just a ship of a ship. This is just a list of ships that are in the game. I don't think it includes vehicles, so it should just be ships on here. And the thing that I like about this, it's not always up to date or everything, but right now it's currently up to date, and it seems like recently they've been doing a good job. So us.citizen-logbook.com, and then I just went to the ships list. So there you have it. All right, so we're gonna go down based on role, and this is alphabetical order based on role. And right now we're gonna start with heavy duty division ships. So these are industrial ships. So we'll go through, find, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to say industrial for its role, but it does have to have an industrial role. It doesn't have to be its only role, but it does have to have an industrial role. Now, my first thought when I first saw industrial is like, well, they did just introduce a kind of industrial ship, but then I was like, no, don't do that. Don't play the game. Stick to what you know. But I'm gonna keep it what it's supposed to be, and I'll save that one for the freighter. So we got boarding, we got bomber, we got cargo. Cargo has its own, so we're not counting cargo as industrial. So that's gonna be under transport. We have carrier. Now, some of these obviously are ships that you can't have in game. You know, we're not going to ask for a skin for the kingship. So we're not going to do that, right? Oh, let me actually state what all of the divisions are, just in case you don't know what they are. So actually, I'll just pop over here and you can see. Heavy duty division for industrial, speed demons for racing, running gun for combat, pathfinder for exploration, freighter for transport, alien for alien vehicles. So that, I guess, can include any type of alien vehicle. So remember that if we don't choose your particular favorite one for like combat or racing, but because there's an alien variant of it, it might be because we're going to put it in the alien division. And then road warrior. So there is ground vehicles. Okay, great, because I did think about that. And then the underdog division. So the underdog division, I think, is going to be interesting, because I think it can only be done after you've completed this list, and then it's just whatever you didn't put on this list that you might have wanted to put in there. And I have some interesting thoughts on that. So I think this is going to be a fun video. All right. So we got the carriers. Okay. Let's see. We got the Vandal Hunter isn't a thing yet. The Javelin doesn't have any skins, but it's not industrial. But you see where my thought process is going? Like, I want some skins, folks. What does a dropship count as? I'm gonna put dropship in, well, I guess Prowler. If I wanted to do the Prowler, it would probably end up in the alien division. But one other thing that I wanted to consider, and it's something I might take points off for, is if the ship has a ton of skins already, right? Because the idea here is you pick the ship Showdown, maybe they give it some attention, but they definitely are going to give it a skin. And so if the ship already has tons of skins, I might take points off for that. So if it looks like I'm like avoiding certain ships that should easily go in there, then I ask you to look and see if there are any skins for that particular ship. If there's like, you know, 3 or more skins for that ship, because that would make me take a point off of it, right? And I'm gonna list these in order, so if it'll be like my favorite one will be at the top and my least favorite one will be the third choice, and then of course you guys can rip it apart in the comments. So let's see, the Prowler, let's see, Valkyrie. I don't know how many skins the Valkyrie has, but I don't think it has a lot. But anyway, we're not at dropships yet. These are expedition, exploration, fighter, freight, frigate, gunship, bomber, heavy construction. Oh, there's my first one, Pioneer. The Pioneer has 0 skins. 0 skins. It's obviously the best at what it does. It is not one of the top 10 most popular ships. In fact, I would say it's not very popular at all because of the price. It's $850. It doesn't have any, like, it meets all of my requirements. I'm putting Pioneer number 1. So far, we'll see. But it does meet all the requirements. So, I mean, wouldn't that be cool if, like, I mean, I guess people who don't own a Pioneer, I own a Pioneer, so I do want to be very clear. Like, I do own one of those, but does it not meet all of the requirements? It's good at what it does. It's industrial. It doesn't have any skins. I'm just saying. All right. Where were we at? We did Pioneer. Okay, so Ironclad Assault. Okay, these are fighters. Heavy freight. Yep, that's not gonna be industrial. I would say the Merchantman counts as industrial because of trade, but I think I'm gonna save that one for the Alien division, just because I don't want to. I want to get through the things that I know don't particularly have anything. Okay, now we get into some mining, refuel, repair, salvage. Okay, the Arastra there's a black Arastra. The Orion does not have any, but the Arastra is a newer ship. The Orion, however, does not have any skins. Is the Orion one of the top 10 most popular ships? I don't think so. In fact, I think it lost popularity when the Arastra came out. It's definitely going to be good at what it's doing. It's the best at what it does as far as we know. Yeah, I think I want to put the Orion in there. Now, mind you, I can change this list. It's going to grow and then shrink, right? So I'm just going to think through it a little bit. The Starfarer does have a bunch of skins. I know it at least has 3 different skins. But it is the best at what it does. It's definitely not one of the most popular ships. Let's look at our list here. Yeah, the Starfarer has never even been mentioned. I'm gonna put the Starfarer on the list. I do not own a Starfarer. Mind you, the Starfarer and the Starfarer Gemini, they have the same what do you call them, skins. So it doesn't matter which one I put on there. You know, so I'll put the Starfarer on there just because it's the cheaper one. The Crucible, as far as I know, does not have any skins. I'll put the Crucible on there. It's also one of the cheaper ships on this list so far. The Reclaimer has a ton of skins. And I also believe the Reclaimer, Reclaimer got second place here. It got second place in 2019. So yeah, that one loses points anyway. So I'll skip it for now. The Endeavor does not have any skins. I own 3 Endeavors, so I'm heavily weighted towards Endeavor. So I'm definitely gonna take points off because I have 3 of them. So I'm putting these. I'm taking into consideration my own flaws, but I don't know how well I will do that. This is why I'm letting you guys rip the list apart once I get it down to 3. All right, so let's see. Interdiction, large passenger. Now, this one I don't understand. I'm not 100% sure. Do I put passengers in industrial or in transport? Because I would think that I put them in transport, but at the same time, it could be in. I guess it is hard to say that that's industrial, right? Yeah, I'm gonna put those in transport. So let's see. Let's keep going. These are all light fighters, light freight, light salvage. Vulture has a ton of skins, and I'm pretty sure that's been on this list. Yep, it was second place last year. Last year it was second place, and it has a ton of skins. So I'm not gonna put that one on. Let's see. Medical is not on here. Ooh, medical is not on here. So okay, I'm gonna put medical. I wouldn't put it under industrial. I'm letting you know now. I think the Underdog division is going to have some medical ships in there, but at the same time, I'm trying to figure out where CIG would put it. I think CIG might put it in industrial. That's the only one that looks like it would fit, either Underdog or industrial. So I'll put it in industrial for now, and then we'll figure the rest out later. But I'm gonna put the Apollo in there. Apollo's definitely not one of the top 10 most popular ships. I do own an Apollo though. I just thought about that. I recently got one. Did I? I think I recently got one. I'm pretty sure I have one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have an Apollo. I think I do. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna put the Apollo in there just because obviously it's gonna be really good at what it does. It's not one of the top 10 popular ships, and it does not have any skins. So let's see. Cutlass Red. I do think the Cutlass was on there before. Yeah, Cutlass was on there. Mind you, the Cutlass Black gets all the same skins as the Cutlass Red, so they would share. And on top of that, the Cutlass does have a lot of skins, so it really shouldn't be on there anyway. Pisces has a lot of skins. MPUV already has a lot of skins, and it can't be on the list because the MPUV already won. Data, the Herald did the Herald make it? I like the Herald, but I think that is that more of a Data wouldn't really be industrial. That's more of a transport. I'm gonna put that under transport. These are medium fighters, medium freight, Data, freight, mine layer. That's gonna be combat. Mining, prospecting. Here we go. We already have a mining ship on there. The Mole has a ton of skins. The Prospector, Prospector does not have a ton of skins. I'm gonna put the Prospector on. Oh, wait, let me see. Yeah, I'm putting the Prospector on there. I don't think the Prospector has a ton of skins. I mean, we could check that real quick. Let's check, because I don't think it has it's been out for a while though, so I would be a little surprised if it didn't. But at the same time, I don't remember. I think I've seen it in black. Let's see if the Prospector has a ton of skins. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. It doesn't have a ton, but it does have 3. It does have 3. But it does not have a ton. I'm gonna leave it on the list. 3 is like the breaking point. It's like the tipping point. So I'll leave it on the list. Let's see. Passenger. This is all passenger. Pathfinder, racing, refinery, the Expanse. I don't think the Expanse has a lot either. Yeah, it doesn't have any. Expanse is going on the list. They might just not be available, but yeah. Let's see. Vulcan. Vulcan has 3, but they are really expensive and you cannot get them. I'm gonna put Vulcan on the list though. Let's see. Reporting is not industrial. I guess you deliver the news, so I'm gonna put that under transport. The SRV has a ton of skins. Stealth is, I'm gonna put that under combat. Touring, transport, I'll put that under transport. All right, that is our list. This is what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna say which ones we put on there, and you can write them down or whatever, and then we'll go through and we'll figure it out. All right, so we got the Pioneer, the Orion, the Starfarer, Crucible, Endeavor, Apollo, Prospector, and the Expanse. Those are all on the list. Oh, and the Vulcan. So I'm gonna say, let's take off ones that I don't think people particularly care about. And not that their popularity is relevant as much, but I don't think people care if they get a Starfarer. Like there's just not enough people that own it, I think. So I'm not 100% sure it's going to win. You got to remember, it's just going to be more than our page that is voting for it. And I just don't see the Starfarer, especially in its current state, as something that's worthy of a best in show or ship showdown. But we'll see what you guys think. But I'm going to take it off my list. Let's see. Crucible, we haven't heard anything about in years. Same thing about Endeavor. Apollo, I wonder, I do know there's people that are interested in medical gameplay. I wonder if the Apollo will even be accepted in industrial. So I'm gonna just take the Apollo off just because I'm not 100% sure it'll be fitting in here. I really wish they put medical in there, or some version of medical. But I'm gonna take Apollo off, but I am gonna put it in the underdog division. So that leaves us with, let's see, the Prospector. The Prospector, I think, can win. But it does have 3. I'm looking for reasons to get rid of things, right? So right now I have Pioneer, Orion, Crucible, Endeavor, Prospector, Expanse, and Vulcan. So I'm going to get rid of the Vulcan, and I'm going to get rid of the Prospector because both of those have 3 skins already, and I need to get rid of some ships to get this down to 3. So now we have the Pioneer, Orion, Crucible, Endeavor, and Expanse. This is tougher. So the Pioneer does not have any, it doesn't have any skins. The Orion doesn't, the Crucible doesn't, the Endeavor doesn't. The Expanse, I'm not 100% sure if it had. We're gonna check one more time to see if the Expanse has paints. Let's see. So let's go to, the Expanse does have 1 paint. It's called the Stardust paint. So we're going to take the Expanse off because it does have an option. All right. So we're down to 4. The Pioneer, Orion, Crucible, and Endeavor. Now, I own all 4 of these ships. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to say which one is the least likely to win. Which one of these least likely to win? The Orion, I think the Orion is likely to win. So that one's definitely staying on the list. So now it's between the Pioneer, Crucible, and Endeavor. I think the Endeavor is also likely to win. So it's between the Pioneer and Crucible. Now, mind you, the Pioneer is one of my favorite ships. But I need to know, do people care more about base building or repair? I think they would care more about base building than repair in general. You tell me, but I think people are going to be way more hyped for base building than they will be for repair. So I'm going to take the Crucible off, and it'll be the Pioneer, Orion, and the Endeavor to choose from for heavy duty industrial. That was more difficult than I thought it would be. So let's go to racing. We're going to go to racing because I want to pick a ship that has racing in the name. There are other ships that might possibly be able to race, but I want one that has racing in the name. Racing is what it was designed for, which is a very small amount of ships that allows me to cut a lot of ships out of there, right? So you have the Razor. Mind you, all of the variants get the skins too. So the Razor means the Razor EX and LX will both get the racing variant, right? Or the LX is the racing. It's racing and luxury, I guess. So that's interesting. But yeah. So let's see. The Razor, the 350R, the M50, the Mustang Gamma, Mustang Omega, P72 Archimedes, P72. Oh, that's the Emerald and the Archimedes regular. The Razor LX. Okay. Not a lot of choices. Not a lot of choices for the racing. But I can tell you which ones I don't think should get it. I'm gonna go with the 350R, which I think has a ton of skins. Actually, I think the whole 300 series has this whole like pick your paint thing, which is like, I don't know if they're gonna keep that going, but I remember when I had a 300 series, I think I had a 315P, and it let me pick the colors that I wanted to put on it. So I'm gonna say that one, I can't put it in there because it technically has an unlimited amount of skins. The first one I do want to put in is the P72. The P72, I don't think it hasn't even been listed for anything. So I'm gonna put the P72. That's the first one. It's the fastest ship in the game, the fastest combat ship in the game, I think. Yeah, I think it's the fastest combat ship in the game. So it actually does double duty as combat and racing. It's one of the fastest ships in the game, and it only has 1 skin variant, which you can't even get unless you get the St. Patrick's, like the huge St. Patrick's Day pack. which is like 400 and something dollars. So yeah, the P72 Archimedes is on the list. That doesn't leave a lot. That really just leaves the M50 and the Razor. The Razor has some skins. The Mustang Gamma and Mustang Omega, they have skins. I pretty much each one of them is a skin. I mean, they have different things about them. I'm not saying that's all they are reskins, but they're not. Nobody's gonna reskin the Omega. Well, I guess a few people might reskin the Omega, but not, I mean, it's like what, 2%, 1% of all of the people that play Star Citizen have that ship. So I'm not gonna play, I'm not gonna act like that's the only thing that would keep a person from getting a skin. But I just don't think the Mustangs are gonna be popular enough to win that, and I don't think people keep them long enough to put them as a best in show. So I think what I'm gonna go with here is the Razor, the M50, and the P72. All right, now we're in combat. Combat is difficult because there's so many things that count as combat. You got bombers, you got corvettes, destroyers, right? I'm not gonna put. I'm gonna be very harsh when it comes to the combat ships because there's so many of them that it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to go over every single one of them. I'm just gonna cut and cut, right? So the Legionnaire, I do not believe has any skins. It is also a useful ship. It's unique. It's good at what it does. I think it's the only one at what it does besides this cleaver thing that they mentioned here. So I'm going to put the Legionnaire on the list. I'm going to start it off with acceptance. All right, let's say that it is acceptance. The Legionnaire starts off the list. It's also an interesting ship in general because it's a boarding ship. Harbinger has a ton of skins. The A1 has a ton of skins. Not a ton, but it has skins. The Gladiator would be interesting. The Gladiator, a bomber, which hasn't had a lot of love. I would love for the Gladiator to get some love. Let's see. Carriers are going to be in transport. Corvette. The Polaris does not have a skin. But let me see if that one... The Polaris has never actually been to the Final Four. I think I'm putting the Polaris in there, folks. I think that's especially because we're getting the Polaris soon. I think that's a good one to put in there. Let's see what else we got. The Javelin, I don't want to put in there because I feel like if a $3,000 ship that only certain people own wins, I think that would not be a good look. I just don't think it's going to win Best in Show. The Javelin will get its fair due regardless because it's the most expensive ship in the game currently. So I don't think that's a fair ship to put in there in general, just because I think it's going to get its due anyway. Let's see. And also, let me see. The Kraken has never cracked it either. So maybe we'll leave those two ships out. I think the Idris... Nope, Idris has never cracked it either. So if the Idris has been around this long and hasn't cracked it, I'm not 100% sure it would. So maybe we'll keep those, 1,500 plus ships out of it, 1,300 plus ships out of it, just for the sake of making this more likable by people who spend more money on the game, or who spend less money on the game, not more. Yeah. So let's see. Drop ships are definitely going to be in combat. Prowler has a bunch of skins. Valkyrie does not. It has that Liberator skin though. So let's see. Yeah, it does have that Liberator skin. That is very difficult to get, I think. It's an event. I can't even remember how to get it, but it does have that skin that you can get with it. Let's see. Vanguard Hoplite. The Vanguards have them. Cutlass has a bunch. Expedition. P52 does not, but I feel like the P72 and the P52 kind of go hand in hand. So I'm not 100% sure that one skin wouldn't cover the other, so I wouldn't put both of them in there. Let's see. The Stinger. I don't know. That's not even a ship you can buy. So we got we got the Idris. We're not putting in there. Let's see. The Redeemer. Redeemer. That has a ton of skins. Freelancer has skins. Retaliator has skins now. Let's see. Heavy Dropship. The Ironclad only has one skin, but no, that's transport. The Assault wouldn't. Nah, the Assault's still transport. The FAC Lightning does only have one skin, but I just don't think a limited ship like that would have any chance of winning. So yeah, let's not put that one in there. Vanguards, Ares have a ton of skins. Hurricane. I think the Hurricane would be a good one to put in there. I don't know if it, I don't know what, let's see if that one has, some skins. Oh, it does. The Hurricane has a bunch of skins. 1, 2, 3. It has four skins. So that, yep, that's over our line. Let's see. The whole series has some skins. Well, that's freight anyway. Let's go down to Hammerhead, which has some skins. It has the best in show because it was here. So they're not even gonna put that one on there. Let's see. Perseus. The Perseus is a very good one to put on here. In fact, I think that might go to the top of my list because I think that is a very popular ship. And I do think that has a very good chance of winning. Retaliator. Oh, wait. Did I skip one? The Retaliator definitely has skins. Oh, Retaliator Bomber. Okay. Yeah, I did do the Retaliator already. Then let's go down to Interdiction. Vanguard has a bunch. The Zeus. I would wait for that one. I would put that one in transport. I know this particular one isn't, but because the ones in transport would cover it. And I think this thing will have a bunch of skins when it comes out. And I also don't think it's going to be a I don't think it's likely that it'll win because it already has so many variants. So we'll see. We'll see. Like none of the ships I've put on here except for the Razor has a bunch of variants. But the racing division is just so slim that you kind of just have to put one of them on there. So yeah. Let's see what else we got. The Mantis. The Mantis I don't think has any. Oh, it does. It has 2 though. It has 2. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it off. I'm gonna leave it off because it has 2, but I'm gonna recheck the Legionnaire. Yeah, the Legionnaire doesn't have any. So I think the Legionnaire would beat out the Mantis because it doesn't have any skins. Buccaneer has some skins. The Avengers have skins. Let's see. Blade. That might go under Alien. Santak Yai, same thing. Defender, Cartual. Gladius has plenty of skins. Hawk has decent skins. Let's see. Arrow? No, Arrow has decent skins. The Hawk, I'm not sure about. Let's see if the Hawk has some skins. Hawk has 2. They're not very good though. I mean, maybe that's just my opinion, but they're not very good. I don't know if the Hawk would win, but I'm gonna put it on the list. Let's see, the Hawk. Where are we at? Oh, all right. So Reliance series would definitely not win. Let's see. 100 series has a bunch of skins. Aurora has a bunch of skins. Where are we at? Where are we at? Going down, going down. Glaive, I don't think is possible to win. Either way, it would be an Alien. Scythe, I don't think would win. Would be an Alien. Scorpius has some decent amount of skins. Let's see. F7C, too many skins. Saber has a bunch of skins. Caterpillar 1. Or no, that's freight anyway. Let's see. Nautilus. I think the Nautilus is a good one. It only has the 1 skin, and you had to get it, I think, at concept in order to even get it. But we'll see if it keeps on the list. Let's see. Racing. The Fury has a bunch of skins. Let's see. Stealth. All of these have a bunch of skins. Yep, all have a bunch of skins. Connie's have a bunch of skins. 300. like I said, is basically shouldn't really be on the list. And the Hercules has a bunch of skins. So I think we got our list. We got Perseus, Nautilus, Legionnaire, Gladiator, Polaris, Valkyrie, and Hawk. So I'm gonna take the Nautilus off. I know I just put it on there. I'm gonna take the Nautilus off because I just don't think it will win, and it's such a niche ship that I just don't think it will win like a best in show. And I'm looking at the Legionnaire as far as like how niche it is, and thinking that it might not win either, but it doesn't have any skins. So I don't know. The Legionnaire to me seems like it could win, but I don't think it has as much of a chance as the Perseus. The Perseus is on the list, folks. Perseus is on the list. That's the only one that's for sure on the list, because I definitely think that one is capable of winning. I think the Gladiator is I would want the Gladiator to win to get some skins, but it does have a few skins already, I think, but I don't know. So let me check to see if the Gladiator has some skins. It does not. So that's good, but I don't know if the Gladiator will win just because of such a poor state. It's like the same thing with what was it, the Starfarer. I don't think the Starfarer can win because it's just in such a poor state right now. I don't know a lot of people that fly it or that would vote for it, because a lot of people don't even know what that ship does. So I'm going to take the Gladiator off. I am surprised the Polaris has not been on a ship showdown before. I thought that ship was much more popular than it actually is. But I do think that that's possible for a winner. I do think that Polaris can win. The Valkyrie, I think that one can win as well, but it does have a skin already. It does have a skin already, and so does the Hawk. But the Valkyrie technically doesn't have a skin. It's just that like Liberator edition. So I don't want to be like top heavy with these, but I feel like the three that have the best chance of winning. No, because I think the Polaris might be in the top 10 most popular ships. So Polaris has to go. Let's look at this list. Corsair's definitely in there. Carrick's in there. Caterpillar has won one, so it's got to be in there. So that's 3. The Vulture, it's only made one list. I wouldn't say it's on there. Mercury for sure. That's 4. Definitely the Mercury. Oh, Valkyrie's been on the list. It almost won before. So Valkyrie has to come off. Hawk has not been on the list. Let's see. The Redeemer, C2, Cutlass, of course. Hammerhead, Eclipse. I wouldn't have guessed the Eclipse. I forgot to say the Eclipse earlier, but it does have some skins, so the Eclipse would be off anyway. Scorpius, 600i. 600i does have a decent amount of skins. So Perseus, Legionnaire, Polaris, or Hawk. I guess it comes down to which one I think is more likely to win. And I think the Polaris is more likely to win. But I think I can make this list of top 10 real quick. So Corsair, Carrick, Caterpillar, Mercury. I want to say the Reclaimer, but I don't know how popular it is. It did get second place though. Let's skip it for now. C2 for sure. Cutlass. The 600i made it on the list twice, so I'm going to put that one on there. Yeah. That's I think that's either 7 or 8. But yeah, I'm probably going to put the Polaris up there, but it's probably bigger ships. Probably the Idris I'd probably put on there. The Idris is a pretty popular ship. Everybody that, you know, they sell out every time. The Polaris, I don't think even when it was limited was selling out. But I could be wrong about that. I want to say that the Polaris is one of the most popular, but it hasn't even made this list. The Hawk, I just feel like does not stand as much of a chance at winning. And let's see. I think that we looked at the Hawk already, right? Yeah, and the Hawk has 2 paints. So I'm going to take the Hawk off and leave the Polaris. Yeah, so we got Perseus, Legionnaire, and Polaris for our combat. I think that's solid. You guys pick those apart. Tell me which ones you don't think should be on there. Remember, only 2 are actually going to make the list. And I'll try my best to make videos about both of them. That's going to take some doing. But I have a few days, so the next few videos you guys see, well, it wouldn't be like immediately, but definitely the first week of August is going to be very weird as far as the videos you see. All right, moving on. We're going to go to the Pathfinder division. Let's see what we got. So this is going to be Expedition, Exploration, and Pathfinder. I'm pretty sure that should be it. Yeah. So Carrick is automatically out. 600i is out. Connie has too many skins. Freelancer has a bunch of skins. Odyssey, I think Odyssey has 1 skin. The Corsair is out. The Zeus is in. The Cutter has a bunch of skins. Okay. I think that's Expedition and Exploration. So I think we have to go to, let's see. What is it? Pathfinder. There we go. So the 400i has a bunch of skins. The Terrapin. Ooh, the Terrapin is a good one. I do think the Terrapin has some skins though. I think it does. I can't find them on here, but I'm pretty sure it has at least 1 or 2 skins. But I think the Terrapin's a really good choice for this one. Actually, I'm going to put the Terrapin at the top here. I think that's going to stay for sure. Let's see. The older tracker, the 300 is disqualified. C8 gets minus points. The Aurora has a bunch of skins. C8 has a bunch of skins. Let's see if I'm missing anything. I think I would put touring under exploration as well. I knew I was missing something. I couldn't tell what it was. All right. 890 jump. The 890 jump does not have any skins. The 890 jump does not have any skins, folks. It's got to be on the list. All right. 600i is disqualified. Connie has too many skins. 300i is disqualified. The 100i, it has a bunch of skins. 85x. I don't know what skins the 85x. I really have not paid attention to the 85x as much as I should have. Let's actually look, because I have to look for the Terrapin anyways. Origin 85x. Star Citizen. Let's see if it has some skins. Doesn't look like it has skins. So, you know what? This says that it's... I didn't even know the 85x was a 2-person series. I didn't even know it was a 2-person ship. It's a 2-person snub ship? That's awesome. That's awesome. I had no idea that this was a 2-person snub ship. That's actually pretty cool. See, and this is why I wanted to go through and review every ship, because some of these ships I didn't even know. It has a decent amount of stowage. It's a touring ship. It's cheap. And its origin. What is the chances of the 85x winning? I didn't even know it existed. I mean, well, I knew it existed, but I didn't know how good it was. But this is what I'll say. I think if the 890 jump wins, this thing will get a skin too. So I would go with the 890 jump over this, because this does come with the 890 jump. But I can't wait till I review this, because I actually have not given this, I think it's fair due. So I can't wait to do that. But yeah, I'm not going to put it on there, but only because the 890 jump is on there. If the 890 jump drops off, I might consider it. And then you have the 600i, and I think that's it. So we have to choose between the Terrapin, the Odyssey, the Zeus Mark II, and the 890 jump. Now, I'm pretty sure, let's check the Terrapin just to make sure. See if the Terrapin has some skins already. Terrapin does not have any skins? No paints. Wow. I mean, that says as of 3.17.4, but I don't think it has had any. It might have a BIS skin or something? No? Terrapin never made this list. Wow. The Terrapin, I think, is going to be the best choice. So I'm going to keep it on there. The Odyssey, so we're really choosing between the Odyssey, the Zeus Mark II, and the 890 jump. We'll say 890 jump and 100i. All right. The 890 jump, I think, is a very popular ship. Is it top 10? I'm not sure, but it doesn't have any skins. But this is my weird argument for not including the 890 jump. Actually, it's a rich people ship, and I think that there's kind of a distaste for like the rich people ship, because like obviously if you have, you know, a javelin or whatever, it's more expensive or whatever. But I think the 890 jump is unique in that it's expensive for the sake of being expensive. It's a very tough ship. It has some capable guns on it. It has, you know, it has some stuff on it. I think it's a decent ship. I mean, I haven't rated it yet, so I need to do a deep dive on it. But I think it's a decent ship. But the thing is, I think in general, most people, they look at the 890 jump and they're like, I don't think it's like a best in show type of winner. And trust me, a luxury ship is going to get its paints. So I'm going to take the 890 jump off. But now I want to talk about the 100i, because the 100i is only 50 bucks. But I'm trying to figure out between the Odyssey, the Zeus Mark II, and the 100i, which ones do you think people are more likely to want skins for? And I'll check the 100i just to make sure it doesn't have any skins. Oh, wrong one. It has a bunch of skins. So the 100i is off. Sorry, folks. It has a bunch of skins. Look at that. That's a ton of skins. Sorry. 890 jump and 100i are off. We have the Terrapin, Odyssey, Zeus Mark II. You guys choose between those three. I think any three of those would be good. All right, moving on to transport. So I'm already going to tell you what I want to put on here. I want to put the Ironclad on here. Even though it has that Dauntless skin, I still want to put it on here. And that goes for the Ironclad and Ironclad Assault. I just think that ship has just totally changed the game for Star Citizen. And I think there's going to be a lot of fans for it, especially going into a ship showdown. So I am very much so in the corner of let's get that thing recognition. I don't care if it wins. I do want it to be in the top 4. So we'll see. We'll see if it's in the top 4. I wanted to read this. Yeah, so the top 2 of each one will make it into the ship showdown tournament. So there you have it. So yeah, I just want it to be in the top 4. It's one of the ships I'm rooting for out of all of these. Well, I guess I'll just go through and say which ones I'm rooting for at the end. Let's get back to the list and finish this list up. So when we look at transport, we're looking at freight, and we're also looking at carrier. There's a lot of stuff that goes into this one, but a lot of these already have skins. So the Spirit, the C1, it's going to have a ton of skins. Liberator does not. Liberator, I think, is a very good one. Let's see. Dropship, I think I counted as combat. Expedition, exploration, freight. So the Nomad has a bunch of skins. I also just don't think it's as popular, but it does have a bunch of skins. What is that? The MPUV already won. Let's see. Hull E has a bunch. Ironclad's already on there. Merchantman, I think, will be in the Alien. I think that'll be in the Alien. I'll put it. I'm surprised that one, actually. I thought that was a more beloved ship than it is, but it's not even in there. All right, so let's see. What else we have? Light carrier, the Kraken. I said I'm not going to put the super expensive ships in there. Okay, let's get to here. Avenger has a ton of skins. Sulian surprisingly has a ton of skins. The Reliant is not going to win. 100 series has a bunch of skins. Avenger has a ton of skins. Cutter has a ton of skins. Aurora has a ton of skins. MPUV won already. Mustang has skins. Whoa. Okay, wait. I thought, I was like, are we done? Also, I'm putting these in transport. The Data, the Herald, I think, is a good one. I'm gonna put the Herald in there. I don't think it's a super popular ship, but I do think it's one of those ships that deserves its time in the sun, because I think the MSR kind of steals its thunder all the time. So I am gonna put that on the list. We'll see if it makes the cut though. Then we have Passenger. So the Spirit E1 is gonna have a lot. The MPUV already won. Let's see. Am I missing anything? Transport. Let's see. I would say the SRV, but the SRV already has a ton of skins anyway. The Hercules already has a ton. So I only have 3 on the list: the Ironclad, the Liberator, and the Herald. So I'm gonna go back because maybe I missed one. Let's see. But I think the fact that I didn't even put another one on the list, I think, kind of says it all. but I just want to go back just in case. The Zeus is already on another list. That's on the exploration list. Oh, okay. I think I did miss some of these. So the Raft has a ton of skins already. Connie has a ton of skins. Raylan would be in the alien division. Caterpillar already won. Scorpius gets minus points. Yeah, I think that's it. I think we have our freighter division, the Ironclad, the Liberator, and the Herald. The rest of these already either have a ton of skins, they've already won, or that's pretty much it. Either or they're not likely to win. Yeah, looking at these. Yeah, I think we got it. Ironclad, Liberator, and the Herald for the freighter division. Now, the alien division, Merchantman and Raylan are in there. The Raylan already has, I think, 1 or 2 skins. Let me actually check that. I know it has at least 1, but I'm not sure if it has more. Yeah, it has 1. So that's not disqualifying, but that will put it lower on the list because it does already have 1. So let's see. This one, I think we're actually going to have to mix our list up a little bit. So we're going to go skip past Anvil, Apoa. These have a ton of skins. The Santakiai and the Kartual have a ton of skins. Otherwise, they would definitely be on the list, but they have a ton of skins already. So, and I mean a ton. So those are, those are going to be off the list. The Merchantman, the Defender has a bunch of skins, but the Merchantman does not. So the Merchantman, I think, can stay. Asperia. So the Prowler has a ton of skins. The Blade, Glaive, and Scythe, I do not think have a bunch of skins. So let's check that one. Yeah. So they have a 3rd version of this that's coming out, but it's not going to be made available until Squadron 42 is released, which might be next year. So I'm going to hold off on, because all 3 of these are getting kind of a rework and it's not coming out until Squadron 42 is released. So I'm going to hold off on all 3 of those because they are going to get a rework. And I have a sneaking suspicion that when they get that rework, they're going to get their skins anyway. I also don't think these are, I think out of these 3 so far, from what I've seen, I already reviewed the Blade and the Glaive, and I'm currently in the process of reviewing the Scythe. I think the Scythe is the best buy of the 3, but at the same time, I'm not particularly excited for any of the 3. So yeah, the Talon has a bunch of skins. The Sulian has a bunch of skins. The Raylan has a bunch of skins. Well, no, the Raylan's already on the list. Doesn't have a bunch of skins. It has 1. I'm trying to, I think that's it for the alien ship. Oh, Vandal. Yeah. So I think we really only have 2. We only have 2. So I guess the alien division is really light. I could just, I'll throw another one on there just so you guys can tell me if I'm wrong. But the Glaive and the Scythe, they share a skin as far as I know. So I'll put the Scythe on there, and then you guys can, you know, talk amongst yourselves if you want a different one on there. But I think the Merchantman and Raylan are probably going to win that just because the Merchantman has 0 skins and the Raylan only has 1. So that makes sense to me. All right, the ground vehicles, a whole different, actually, before we do the ground vehicles, we're actually going to do the little guys, the underdog division, because I think this is where I think the medical ships are going to shine. But I'm going to go back to putting these roles on here. I'm going to put a bunch of ships on here that I don't think are going to win. So the Gladiator I took off earlier, but I do think it deserves some time in the sun. So I'm putting it in the underdog division. Let's see what else we got. We're going to kind of go through them all here because I think there's going to be some in here that are a little surprising. So let's see. Some of these that just don't have skins are not really super popular. And there's not going to be a lot of those. So I'm not pressed to kind of find out. Or I guess I'm not really pressed. I don't think that there's a lot of ships that people just hate. But I do think that some of these ships are just not likely to win. I'll put the Nomad on there. No, Nomad has skins, so I can't put the Nomad on there. I think the Redeemer has minus points because it's been on the list. The Retaliator has a bunch of skins. Freelancer has a bunch of skins. Let's see. Vanguard has skins. The F8C is just not It's not possible, I think, for that thing to win. The Ares has a bunch of skins. Hulls have a bunch of skins. Merchantman's already on a list. Hammerhead, it has a decent amount of skins, and it was already on a best in show. Perseus already on there. Arastra has a skin. Let's see. Crucible, which I took the Crucible off. I'm gonna put the Crucible back on the little guys list because it was tough to even take it off of the industrial list. But I'm gonna put it on there, and you guys can tell me what you think. The little guys list is going to be longer than the rest. All of the rest are going to have 3. This one is going to have whatever I put on there because the little guys, I mean, you have to include them all in order for them to be considered. And that's the whole point. They don't have a chance. Anyway, well, they have less of a chance. They do have a chance. So let's see. I'll put the Starfarer on there since I took that one off as well. You guys can tell me if you want that one to win. Let's see. A Genesis Starliner. Ooh, actually, that one should be on the transport. I missed that one. So the Ironclad, Liberator, Herald, and Genesis Starliner. I'm actually going to take the Herald out of transport and put that one in the place of the Genesis and the little guys, because I do think that's more of a little guy. So that way it's still on it. I'm going to put it higher on the list though. So, there we go. So what else do we have? The Mantis, I think that might be it. Because everything else, I think, has too many skins already. I think everything else has too many skins already. So let's see. Avenger, Mustang, MPUV, Cutter, Sulian. Yep. Reliant. It's not really underdog. It does have skins already. Now that I think about it, there's not that many medical ships anyway. That's probably why they didn't put it on there. The Cutlass already has a bunch of skins. It's the Apollo and the Endeavor, really. And I think I left the Endeavor on the Industrial. So really, I get why they didn't get their own. I mean, you got the C8 and you got the, now you got the vehicle, the Ursa. So that matters. But yeah, okay. F7C, F7A, they got skins. The Glaive already put on there. Scorpius has one. Raft has a bunch of skins. Caterpillar 1. Rayland already on there. Cutlass. The Nautilus. I'll put the Nautilus on there. Did I take the Prospector off? I'm going to put the Prospector back on here. Wait, actually, did I check? I think that I took the Prospector off because it had a bunch of skins, actually. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Prospector has a bunch of skins. That's why I took it off. Okay, that makes sense. Let's see. Does the Galaxy have a bunch of skins? I skipped over the Galaxy, actually. Where should that one go? No, the Galaxy definitely came with the skin, and I do think it'll get, because of its modularity, I think it'll get a bunch of skins. So I think the Galaxy owners will be all right. I do think it's a great ship, though. I can't see a ship on here, though, that I would take off to put that one on. Let's see. 400i, Aurora. 400i has a bunch of skins. Razor, we already did those. Refinery. The Expanse? I'll take the Expanse off. The Expanse. Put the Expanse back on there. What else? Fury, Cutter, Saber, Talon, Razor, A90 Jump. Yeah, all the rest of these, they all have their chance. So this still is a very long list for Underdog. So I'm probably gonna have to take some off of here. I'm gonna cut it down to 5. I'm gonna take the Nautilus off because it at least has one skin. The Starfarer because it has skins. I think it has actually a few skins. And then the Apollo, I think, has to stay on there because it's the only medical ship. I need to take one more off though. Expanse has a skin. I think it's the only other one. Let me see if the Gladiator has a skin. I don't think the Gladiator has a skin. That's not a skin. That's just a version of it that'll be used in like Squadron 42. But it might get that variant. That would be really cool if it got that variant. Yeah, I'm gonna keep. I guess I'll do 6 because all of these are pretty much, yeah, the little guys. So I'll leave the Underdog division with 6. That's a lot, but you guys will make it very clear which one is gonna win. So I'm not worried about it. I think you guys will be very quick to be like, this one should win. And I'll put some what do they call them? Polls up. I'm not gonna solely go by the polls, but the polls are going to have a say, right? And the reason I don't go by polls is because not everybody sees the polls. I'm mostly going to go by the comments that you guys leave. So, and the likes that your comments receive. So that's going to matter more to me than a poll, because the poll is just like, I just click and it's the one I like the most. But when you actually have to explain and have other people agree with you, I think that is a bigger deal. So yes, the polls will matter, but they will be secondary to the most liked comments and the most common comments, right? So it's which ship are people talking about the most in the comments. But we still have one more division, the ground vehicles. So let's get to that. I think all of the ground vehicles have a decent amount of skins though. So this one might be a little bit easier. I don't know. There's not that many of them. So I'm going to try to keep these to ones that I know, like here. These are ones we can't even get. So we'll leave those out. So the PTV, I just don't think a lot of people own it, but a lot of people can. I don't know. I think this would be equivalent to the MPUV winning. So I'll put it on there just because of the lulls. Let's see. The Pulse has skins. Hover Quad has a decent amount of skins. The Ranger does not have a bunch of skins, but does have some variants. STV, I think that's actually going to be... I think the STV has some skins. The Dragonfly has skins. Mule has skins. Nox has skins. X1 has skins. Ursa has skins. The Rock, I think The Rock has some skins, but I'll put that on there just because I know it's a fan favorite. I honestly don't think any of the vehicles are going to win, but it's very possible because of the meme. So we'll see. Then we have, let's see, the G12. I like the G12, but I think it'll get plenty of skins. It's the only Origin vehicle besides the X1, I think. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that'll get its skins. The Lynx Rover, I think that does have some skins. That has some skins. Cyclone has a ton of skins. Spartan, I don't know what the Spartan has, but I'm gonna assume that it has the same ones as like the Ballista and all of those. So let's see what skins it has. Oh yeah, that definitely has some nice paint. So the Spartan's off the list. So that also takes the Centurion and Ballista off because they have the same ones. Nova has some decent skins. Storm has decent skins. So I think we got it. It's the PTV, the Ranger, and the Rock. Let's see. Cyclone has a bunch. Yeah, the rest of these have they either have a bunch of skins or they have a bunch of variants. So I think that completes our list. So let's go down our list and then I will tell you which ones are my favorites of each one. So the Pioneer, Orion, and Endeavor for our heavy duty division. The Pioneer, Orion, and Endeavor. Out of those three, which one I think the Endeavor is going to end up getting a skin anyway. The Orion, I'm sure will get a skin. The Pioneer is the only one I'm worried about as far as skin because it's a construction ship and I don't they do sell out. So it's not like it's not a popular ship at all, but I worry about that one the most. So that's the one I think I would be pushing for the most. But I'm biased there because it also is my favorite ship. Top three. It's top three. You know me and my favorites. Well, technically the Endeavor is my favorite. And then the Pioneer is second. It's a close second. It's like tied. I would say they're tied for first. They're the ships I'm looking forward to the most. So yeah, I'm going to go with the Pioneer being my favorite there. Then the Speed Demons, the P-72, the M50, and the Razor. The P-72 is easily my favorite of these three. I think the M50 actually might have some skins now that I think about it. So that one might have to go down the list. Because I could have sworn I saw some skins for this one during the last ship sale. It only has 2. So it's not a lot of skins, but it is going to go down the list. Well, no, because the Razor has skins too. So yeah, I think I'll leave it the way it is. But the P-72 is the one I want out of there to win. The Perseus, the Legionnaire, and the Polaris. I think the Perseus is the one that I want to win out of there. I don't think the Perseus got a skin at all. Actually, I don't think all 3 of those got ships or got skins. So the Perseus, the Legionnaire, and the Polaris for the run and gun division. I'm gonna go for the Perseus. I think that's probably the most it's either the Perseus or the Polaris out of those that is the most popular. I think the Polaris stands a better chance, but I also think because it's more expensive, it might not. So I think it's a crapshoot. So that's the run and gun division, the Perseus, Legionnaire, and Polaris. Next, for the Pathfinder division, we have the Terrapin, Odyssey, and Zeus Mark II. The Terrapin is the one I want to win out of that. My favorite ship of the three is the Odyssey, but the Terrapin is the one I think I want to win out of that. The Terrapin needs some super love, and I also think it needs a variant because I want a Terrapin. When I think of like the ships that I want to fly just because of the way they look, there's not a lot of them that I want to fly just because of the way they look. Some of them look cool, but I still don't even want to fly them. I don't want to fly them because they look cool. The Terrapin I want to fly because it looks cool. And there's only like 4 or 5 ships in the entire game that do that for me. And so, there's some weird ones too, like the Razor and stuff. Like I don't even own a Razor, but I just like the look of it so much that I just want to fly it. So it's a little weird thing for me, but I think the Terrapin is the one I want to see. I think the Terrapin needs some love, especially at that $200 or I think $220 price point. So yeah, Terrapin is going to be my pick for the Pathfinder division. Then we got the Freighter division. Freighter division is the Ironclad, Liberator, Genesis Starliner. The Ironclad is my easy favorite coming out of that one. I think it's got some steam because it was just released. The Liberator fans, I think that should be the very first fight that it goes up against is Ironclad versus Liberator. But at the same time, I don't think both of those will make it into the live showdown. So we'll see. Yeah, but I think those two are going to go at it. The Genesis Starliner, it's so far off that I don't think it'll win the competition. That's why it's the last on the list. But I do think it doesn't have skins. But I do think it'll end up with a variant. So we'll see. The Ironclad does have a skin, though. Whatever you say, whatever you will about that. But I just think the Ironclad just kind of changed the game for Star Citizen. So the Alien division, we kind of just got stuck with what we got stuck with here. The Merchantman, the Raelin, and the Scythe. Now, I think the Merchantman can win. I don't know if the Raelin or the Scythe can win. The Scythe is kind of an add-on just to make sure we had 3. But the Raelin, I would say, is second. But the Raelin already has a skin. So I think the Merchantman is the one that I would want to come out of the Alien division. Just because I think if it wins the ship showdown, it will put all of the attention on the Merchantman. It'll be in the heads of everybody, and maybe that'll make CIG work on it. I know it's one of those ships that people have been waiting for the most. So yeah, I think I want that one to win, or at least get into the best in show, just so it's on the ships of, or it's on the minds of people. The ship is on the mind though. And then the Road Warrior division. So we kind of just have these. It's the PTV, the Ranger, and the Rock. Those are the 3 that I think should go in. And mind you, we're not saying these are the best in any of these categories. We're saying these are the ones that deserve like a win in the showdown, right? You may have some that are not listed here. I implore you to go and make a video and get yours in and try to get that one into the live showdown, because I'm gonna have fun with this live showdown. I'm gonna really push to have the ships I put on this list win. I'm actually gonna make videos for every one of these. I'm gonna get into it. So yes, I'm gonna make videos for, well, not every one of these, all of the ones that make my top list, right? I'm gonna make videos for very short videos. I'm talking like 30-second video commercial type things, so don't expect like a 10-minute thing. But yeah, just gonna be some cool videos about the ships, and we'll see what they do. I'm going to release them on the page, but I don't even think they can be monetized because they're only 30 seconds. So I don't think that it's gonna like bring me anything or anything. So this really just because I want to be a part of the I just want to be a part of the showdown. Anyway, continuing. The Underdog division is let me repeat. The Road Warrior division is the PTV, Ranger, and the Rock. The Underdog division, the little guys, there's 6 ships in this one, so it's going to be a little bit more hard fought. the Apollo, the Herald, the Gladiator, the Crucible, the Mantis, and the Expanse. Those are all in the underdog division. So that's 8 divisions. I think we have at least 3 for every division, and of course 6 for the underdog division. So yeah, go to the page, go to my YouTube page, get on the Discord, talk about which ones you think should win and why. Mostly I want you to get in the comments, talk about, you know, each division, or maybe just pick one and talk about those. And yeah, see which one, we'll see which ones make the cut, and make sure you go and visit the polls and vote on the polls and everything too. But yeah, that was a long one, but we got through it. Yeah, the requirements that I had, I just want to say those one more time, was that the ship could not be in the top 10 most popular ships. The ship had to be at least good at what it does, and it couldn't have more than 3 skins. So that was part of it. And I also took points off if it made the top 4 of the best in show before. So yeah, you put whatever requirements you want on it. These are the ships I chose. But yes, that is it for this one. I will see you in the next one. Thanks for spending your time with us. Peace.